Guyana. As one of the earliest speakers noted, our legal, the act that governs the cooperatives in Guyana is way back in 1948. And I know efforts over the years have been made to update those acts, but for some reason it has been eluding our parliamentarians. I hope in the new era after elections that we can focus on not only updating the act, but modernizing it to ensure that we are able to serve our members better. For example, we continue to be reliant on the CCDO for the hosting of these meetings. According to the Act, according to our rules, which follows the Act, for our meetings to be held, we have to have 1/4 of our membership present. Our membership, active members, is in excess of 15,000 people. Our database of members, some of whom are no longer with us, is in excess of 40,000. So at any given time, without the support of the CCDO, we cannot hold our annual general meeting, except that we are required to call one meeting, and if we don't get a quorum at that meeting, we call a second one for the next week, same time, same place. Thankfully, on this occasion, the CCDO, unlike last time, has given its consent by way of letter, which is reflected in the document. So we want to say a special thanks to the CCDO for its support, and we look forward to its continued support. We also have been working with our colleagues at the Credit Union League. The Credit Union League for us is very important. It has a very important role to play for credit union in Guyana, and we would like to see it become that leadership organization that it should be. And thanks to the chair who is here with us today for coming, we look forward to collaborating and making sure that we can be part of the future of the Credit Union League. None of our achievements, however, ladies and gentlemen, could be possible without the collective effort and dedication of all the members and partners, all our members and partners. My sincere gratitude goes out to my fellow committee members. And for those of you who have coming for the first time, maybe it is a good time to ask them to stand. I know they were introduced before, but it's a good time for them to stand so that you can see who our members are. Starting with the Vice President, Mr. Patrick Mentor, the Secretary, Ms. Harriet. Then our Treasurer, Ms. Rajdai Jagannath. And on the extreme left, Mr. Judah Louisi. Ms. Vanessa Kisoon. I don't know if anybody in the room that don't know that name. Ms. Mahalai McCalmont. Ms. Beverly Dujan. Ms. Enmore, Candace Enmore. And Dr. John Anderson. This is the list of the current membership. And you will hear more about the elections to the Committee of Management, which is we are required to have every annual general meeting, 1/4 of our committee rotated. So we will have elections for that purpose today. But also seated there is our Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Christopher Thompson, who I believe is perhaps the youngest CEO in Guyana, and a young man we are very proud of. He has steered the credit union over the last year, and a lot has been achieved as a result of his stewardship. So we want to say a special thanks to him and his team of managers. Where are they? Are they here wrong? Ms. Samantha, who's our corporate services office manager. Is the finance manager here? We have a team of young managers, very, very young managers, some of whom are in their 20s. The finance manager is one such person. Before him was another young man, Mr. Judah Louisi, who transitioned to the committee instead of working for the committee. He said, look, I can't work for you guys anymore. I want to be with you to make decisions. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to say a special thanks to the Corps of Managers and to the staff. You know, our staff continuously get flack for delays. I want to ask you to bear with us. First of all, we are choked up in a building that we've outgrown. Secondly, the numbers are overwhelming every day. People come to us for $20,000 to borrow $20,000. And it takes the same time to deal with that person as the person who come to borrow for a car or for a mortgage. It is not easy. I know people continue to complain that they come and they can't get answers, they can't get response, but also we have an issue of partners, working with partners. So sometimes it is not our doing that the delay has happened, but I keep telling the staff, it doesn't matter who's the reason, we have to fix it. And so they're under tremendous pressure on a daily basis. So I implore you, I beg you to continue to support and give them your support as well, knowing that they are working in the best interests of the members and that we will one day get to that perfect realization that you so much seek. I want to thank and salute all of our members. You know, I tell the committee of management and I tell the staff that every member of our committee is important. Every member of the society is important. And as a consequence, every email I get, every WhatsApp message I get, every SMS message I get, I respond to. And I expect the same from our committee members. I expect the same from our staff. If it is 11 p.m. in the night, it comes and I'm awake, I respond. If I cannot respond right away, it's done at a later time. So we are focused on improving our members' experience, and we urge you to continue to work with us and do not be afraid to reach out if you have an issue. I want to also thank our members for embracing the change. You know, when we first got to the credit union at Field Street, for those of you who traverse that neighborhood, the avenue was, well, first of all, the building was a derelict. When we went into that building, it was flooded constantly. The tiles were broken. The arrangement was outdated. And so over the years, for those of you who have come to that building, you would have seen the transformation from what it was a few years ago to what it is today. Well, I'm assuring you that it gets better in a few months. It gets better when we move to our new corporate headquarters. I want to thank you sincerely, special invitees, for coming. And for our members, I want to thank you for continuing to choose GPSU as your preferred financial partner. You know, a lot of the banks don't like us anymore. And we don't care. Because most of our members will never qualify for a loan at the bank. Most of them will never qualify for a loan at the bank, but they are rest assured that once they come to the credit union, they will receive help. Sometimes that help is not always forthcoming right away, but we are continuously working on making sure that we are able to help every member that come to us. And I don't think the bank like us for that, but we have an obligation to our members, and we will continue to ensure that we can offer them the support that is needed. Your continued support enables us to generate sustainable profits. Again, I want to urge our members, this is a financial institution. It is not the committee of management money. It's not any individual here money. It is the members' money, and we have to spend it wisely. We cannot just give you a loan because you show up. You have to meet certain requirements. And we ask them for your understanding that we must be judicious about this when we are giving loans. And so we thank you, those of you who've been understanding and showing appreciation for the work that we're doing. Your continued support enables us to generate sustainable profits, which are returned to you in the form of infrastructure, expansion, dividends, greater access to loans, as well as embrace social and educational programs. We would like our members to understand that your dividend is important. We want to make sure that we have dividend. We want to ensure that we can able to do the infrastructural development that are needed. We can't do that without your continued savings. We cannot do that without your continued payments once you get a loan. Thankfully, we have one of the lowest rates of delinquency in the financial industry. So thanks to our members who continue to be loyal and continue to make the payments. We want to urge you to keep that up. Your trust, loyalty, and active participation are what make the credit union truly special. You are the reason we exist, and your financial well-being is our ultimate priority. We are excited about the journey ahead and look forward to another year of shared success. Ladies and gentlemen, this ends my remarks, and I thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Mr. Ben, for that comprehensive report and overview. Before we invite Ms. McCalmon to introduce our featured speaker, we will play a brief tutorial video for you so you can see how to take part in today's meeting. So I'll ask our technical team to just play those videos.
This video will explain the interactive features to allow you, the member, to participate in the virtual annual general meeting. When invited by the chair, you can use the raise hand button to move or second a motion. Once recognized by the chair, click again to lower your hand. You can access meeting resources anytime by clicking the Resources button. Here, you'll find useful links, documents, and speaker information. Simply click on any icon for more details. During the designated question and answer segment in the meeting, click the Q&A button to ask a question. Type your question and click Send. Meeting polls are available for ad hoc voting on motions on the floor and resolutions. Once there is a motion on the floor for voting, a poll will appear on your screen. Select one of the available options and click Submit. Once invited by the chair, The moderator will promote you as a meeting panelist and invite you to turn on your video. Click the Join as Panelist button to accept. Will allow you, the member, to participate in the virtual annual general meeting.
All right, so we continue with the program. We'll now ask Ms. Mahela McCalmont, member of the Committee of Management, to introduce our featured speaker.
Good morning, everyone. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce to you one of our distinguished women in our society and leading the forefront. Paloma Mohammed is the 11th Vice Chancellor of the University of Guyana. She is a full professor of behavior and strategic communications, noted as a futuristic scholar for her work on change of humans and human systems. Her recent work on the effects of technology on human life systems is of international interest. She is the first woman to lead the university in its 63-year history. She is also the first woman to be appointed Vice Chancellor at any university in the Anglophone Caribbean. She has been Deputy Vice Chancellor, Philanthropy, Alumni, and Civic Engagement known. She's been awarded 2 presidential medals in 2012 and 2015, as well as a City of New York Award for Culture in 2013. Ladies and gentlemen, may you put your hands together as we welcome our very own Vice Chancellor of the University of Guyana, Dr. Professor Paloma Mohammed.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good morning. Thank you for that very generous introduction. I'd like to stand on the protocols already observed, but I must, of course, pay respects in regard to the members of the head table, beginning with the chairman. Trevor, thank you for inviting me, and of course, CEO and members. And I must, of course, acknowledge former Minister of Finance, who has been very good to the university in the past. So thank you for being here. Of course, my old school friend, and many of you may not know this, he was a champion basketballer back in the day, your auditor, Nigel Hines. And of course, I note several of the people I studied with, Mr. Mentor, several students, and then, of course, your returning officer, who is now our chair of Committee of Deans at the University of Guyana, well-respected Professor, actually, Leland Lucas. There are many people in the audience. I note young people here who are really, who are members and graduates of the university, and of course, people we're proud of. I'm very delighted, of course, to see so many young people on your committee. And therefore, I believe this is the reason why we are seeing so many of the wonderful innovations that have been presented here this morning. They've actually caused me to have to abandon the speech that I had written, because the gentleman from UWI, as well as Trevor, have indicated some of the things that I would have mentioned in my speech because of the topic that I was given, which is how do you innovate and use technology in advancing your efforts. But because of the fact that I am, in fact, a change specialist, that's what my PhD work is in. Most people don't know that. They think that I am in theater. Theater is my love, but I am a behavioral scientist. And one of the things that I do study at the moment is how technology inflects life. And also, I do have some insights into how credit unions work because of our own university credit union that I have been honored to be working with for the last number of years as Vice Chancellor. I would like to begin by, therefore, recalling a story that I was told about 2.5 years ago. Since we're in the month of liberation, I remember this story. And the story was told to me by one of my young students who was just graduated with a PhD. And he was speaking at the launch of our International Center for Migration and Diaspora Studies, in which a panel of young people were considering the effects of slavery and indenture on our country. And he was speaking about this story that his grandfather had told him about how slaves would save all through the condition of slavery. And that is that they would bury in a tin somewhere. This is not a silk cotton tree now. That's not the people who were burying the big trunks of money. We had other people doing a lot of burying, but not those. They would bury in tins or boxes that they would create in a particular place, whatever they could find, whatever they could sum up. And they would tell the next generation where this was. And year after year, decade after decade, century after century, they would add to this. And to me, this was a powerful story. I don't know if it was a true story, but it stuck with me because in listening this morning to what you have been talking about, while you might not think of a tin can centuries ago as a technology for saving, I see it as a technology, but also I see it as the mindset, the heart, the intention of people who may not have seen the end of a certain condition that they were suffering at the time, to plan for that time when it would happen, that they would be free and others would be able to use the saving. And that's powerful. That's resilience, if you've ever seen resilience in your life. Now, another story that I'd like to tell you, because I'm going to connect all of these in a little bit, is a story of a young woman who came to see me in fact, I asked her to come and see me because she was writing about something that was going on between herself and the university. So I said, come and see me. Let me find out exactly what's going on with you, how I can help. And she's about 20 years old, has a little boy, nothing wrong with that. And I said to her, what is it that you really want to be and do in your life? Because I think fundamentally there was an employment issue where she was not settling in well. And she said to me, I don't know. I said, you don't know what you want to be do in your life? She said, no. I said to her, so how are you going to manage with any job you get? She said, I just want a government job. And I said to her, why do you think that a government job is the thing that you must have? She said, well, there's a lot of security in it, etc. So therefore, the public service is still seen by young people wonderfully as a good place to be and to start off with. But then I said to her, well, okay, stability is good, etc. You've not done well in school yet. That's not the end of the world. There are pathways that you can change. You can do things, right? Starting badly is not something that should cause you to end badly. So I said to her, well, if you had a magic wand and you could wave it now, what would you want to be? And she paused for a long time and she said, why are you asking me that questions? And her eyes started to fill up with tears. She says, because you know that I can't be it. I said, but you haven't told me what you want to be. So therefore, we can't decide that you can't be it. And she said to me, I want to be a nurse. Now, for many of us, that is not something that's unattainable. But to think about a young girl at 20 years old who did not manage to get any CXCs because of things that happened in her life, many of them not her fault, circumstances. And there are so many opportunities in the world today, in this country today, for her to really think that she couldn't be a nurse is something that really, really powerfully moved me. And this is what I want to focus on a little bit today. Because when I teach students, I start by telling them elephant stories. And they often wonder, why am I telling them these elephant stories? I love elephant stories because they're really good examples of what messing with people's minds can do to them. The first question I would ask, no, the second, but the first one is not relevant here because if nobody in here is doing a PhD. Second one though would be, why do you believe that a big animal like an elephant would not knock down the tiny fence that corrals it off? It could step on it and crush it in a minute. Why? Most people have not thought about this because they've not seen elephants, but I was lucky when I was young. There was an elephant in the zoo called Kamala. I loved it. And I thought about this. But in psychology, there's an explanation. It's something called learned helplessness. So what they do is when the elephant is a baby, they chain the leg to the ground, and so it can't escape. And as it grows bigger, a bigger chain, a bigger chain, a bigger chain. And then eventually there's no need for a chain because it's trained to believe that it can't escape. So fundamentally, what I see this credit union doing, and I was very happy that other speakers spoke before me because I would have talked about many of the innovations that you are making. So you've done that, you're there already. But let's talk about some other things. Some things that can really empower your members beyond what you're already doing wonderfully. You're almost as old as the university. The university is 63, you're what, 61? So these are institutions, powerful institutions, important institutions, and institutions that really form the bedrock of what a powerful nation could and should be. If I go back to one of the first things I read when I was studying for my own work many years ago, I read a Greek philosopher called Heraclitus. And Heraclitus said one sentence that has stayed with me for my entire life. He said, a person cannot step into the same river twice. Unpack that. It means that the river is flowing. Even if you step back a second later, it has changed. Change is constant. Change is happening. It will not stop. So if you stop, things will move on and leave you. But change is going to happen with or without you. So when we go back to this question of what technology means to us now, how do we take all of that and wrap it into a bundle that empowers not only the organization, but empowers its members and those looking on. Empowers a 20-year-old girl who thinks that despite all of the opportunities in this country, she cannot be a nurse. Well, I soon put paid to that, because we're going to I promised her that she would if she's willing to work. And there's a team of people around her now. But how many people have that? So I think that the first thing that has to happen, outside of all the technological ramifications and everything that you're doing, you know that. And I think Trevor himself, is a specialist in this area. So, and you have a young set of people who understand how technology works. But I think what really is required is a fundamental thinking through or analysis of how the things that you have that are common to you can help you change your life and change the lives of those around you. This is important. A couple of months ago, somebody told everybody they should get a Facebook account. It was a fascinating statement. I read it one line in the papers, and I thought, what is this about? I actually don't care what it is about. But if everybody went and got a Facebook account, lovely, because you have in your hands this thing here. Everybody has a cell phone. I have on my cell phone a library of about 20,000 books, Kindle. 20,000 books. It goes wherever I go because I'm working all the time. And people probably wonder why she always, with her phone, but it has everything. It has my calling card on it because whenever I change jobs, I have a digital calling card so I could change the back end, and people who have my address in their book, it will automatically change what I do. And guess what? I don't pay a lot of money for cards that you would often forget, you're traveling, you don't have your paper card with you, etc. That is not to say you should do away with your paper cards. This is your ability to communicate and connect with other people, your ability to navigate nonsense, your ability to teach yourself and to learn. A very, very simple gadget in your hands. Please learn how to use them and how not to use them. With regard to the other things that you could do, everybody talks about AI, yes, but AI is a double-edged sword. What I want to say today, and I want to congratulate you, because you are not technologically and technically averse. Because many people they don't understand something and they get afraid and they just push it aside, but you can't. The world is actually moving in a direction which is going to make those people who do not understand how to manipulate technology, they're going to leave them in the dark ages. And notice I say how to manipulate technology, not how to use technology or to let technology use you. Because most people who have these things in their hands, they allow the technologies to use them. So you are clicking, other people are making money off of you, even if you are not interested in what they have to say. You are online for hours scrolling, watching TikTok, when you could use that time to educate yourself about something, to go into a course, to read something that you want to do. Of course, we know there are all kinds of other things. You have to be clued into what's happening. But this instrument makes the world that much smaller for you. And so in this regard, I hear the comment of the chairman, in which he says that your laws are Second World War law. The laws that govern you. I'm actually amazed at that. 1948, Second World War. Right? That can't be allowed to continue, because it does not take into account what you have to do, what you need to do with technology. The problem of having 40%, 20%, I can't remember what you said, some percentage of your members to be present for you to enjoy yourself into a meeting could be easily sorted if they are online. I notice some of them are online now. This could be easily sorted. You have to also start to think about, how do you work in a cross-border way? How does international investment work? Because right now, I think you're buttonholed into this country. And one of the things that I did not hear mentioned by anybody this morning, and this is, I'm very big on this, is what are we doing in our country and among ourselves to ensure that we take advantage of the investment opportunities that other people in the world absolutely understand and are taking advantage of. What is the credit union investing in? And not only in terms of investing in money, are you investing in your people more? I know you're doing it, you're giving them money, but there's got to be a lot more education, financial literacy. I like to talk about Guyana's stock exchange. People think you have to have a lot of money to invest in Guyana Stock Exchange. No. One share costs $300 depending, or $1,000 depending on the most. You can do it with $10,000 a month. Especially ladies. Sorry, I'm not hitting on y'all. But sometimes I calculate how much a set of nails, a set of hair. Of course, the people with nails and hair have to do their business, but they can also diversify. Think about how you invest your money. This is a very important thing. The other thing I want to talk about a little bit is, and just dropping these things here and there, is about how we expect when people become like 16 or 18, right? We think that suddenly they become an adult by magic, poof, right? I have a 19-year-old son who at 18 years old came to me and told me a set of things. And I was like, listen, boy, I love you with all my heart. But at 18 years old, when you turn 18, something magical doesn't happen and you become a man, right? Or a woman. You have to learn things. And part of what we do in this country is, many of us, not everybody, is we wait until these children reach 18 to show them how to save, to show them how to do something, to involve them in business ideas, because other than that, we think about them as children. And he told me this, and I had to learn and eat my words. But the truth of the matter is, we have to start them early. The conversation that I'm trying to have now, well, I'm having it with our credit union at UG, is how do we get students? How do we get students to join the credit union? I heard you talk about bursaries for parents back to school. But if I have a little godchild who is 5, 10 years old, I don't want to give the parent the money. Can I come and open a credit union account in the name of my godchild? Are you doing things for children? You have to start early. They have to learn to save. They have to learn how things work. They have to learn, all of us have to learn how money works, because it's not magical, right? I was very lucky. When I was about 15 or 16, I had a godfather who happened to be a CEO of a bank, and he used to show up every month. And anytime I did my little theater thing and so on, you know, I had a little money. He said to me, give me $100. And he wouldn't tell me what he was doing with this $100. But he was taking the $100 that I would have been doing something with and saving it for me. And when I became 21 years old, he gave me the bank account, because I would not have known about saving. And when I saw the amount of money, it turned me on to saving, because when you see it growing, something happens to you. You can't wait until they're 18 to do it. So these are things that the credit union needs to start. These are innovations. Anybody can Google online about the technology and find it, but you have to also find ways of innovating around products and services. There are so many opportunities in the country now. I don't know if your 1948, this is still freaking me out. Your 1948 laws allow you to do this, but really, something very significant has to happen about changing that. If it is constraining how you invest, if it's constraining how you grow your market, how you get young people to be involved. The last thing I want to say this morning is a couple of weeks ago, maybe in May, so it was more than weeks, it's about 2 months ago, we had at the university something called Money Week. And Money Week was a series of activities, talks, by people who had local businesses, had grown those businesses. But from the Guyana Stock Exchange people to others, people talking about high finance, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, blockchain, all of those things, all the range. And what's very fascinating, that this was triggered this year. Not, we had been doing it before COVID, but we had stopped because of all kinds of things. But it was triggered again because the Jamaica Stock Exchange showed up in this country. The Jamaica Stock Exchange contacted the university and said, look, we want to come and tell people about what products we have. And they have a whole literacy school, a whole school online that they have open and free. They also have the app that you can trade and practice on. That's there. And I'm not advertising the Jamaica Stock Exchange as much as I like them. But I am saying to you that this is where you need to go. This is where you need to go. And if they're giving you very huge returns on whatever it is, investments, we need to start looking at how we can grow this profit margin, but also how we can invest in our country and invest in ourselves. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope these few minutes that I've spent talking to you this morning about various things that are possible for you. Something has stuck. Something is going to resonate with you. Something is going to help you to think about not only the organization, but your own personal life, because I believe that wealth and wellness begins and is built one individual at a time. You are lucky, you are happy, and I think you'll be happier. I see people smiling every time they say dividends, so I'm assuming that something nice is going to happen today. But you are really, really lucky to be part of an organization that is so powerful, that has such a really wonderful legacy, and that is bent on doing such important work. The door, I think, is open with your management. The fact that you have your audits intact, that's really important. And because of the fact that now we're living in a world in which borders are disappearing, and in which so many opportunities could flow in, but also flow out. And you yourselves as members, it's important. If you're going to borrow, you have to know how you're going to pay that back, and not just pay that back by starving yourself, which most people have to do, right? You skip a meal. I've done that. I did that when I was building my house when I was in my 20s. I ate tennis roll and cheese for an entire year, which is how I put on weight. People don't know. All right, because I was skinny, right? Yeah, because I had to figure out how to pay the mortgage and how to pay courts, and I was doing that. I was 20-something, 22, 23. But learning from that experience, I know that if you are trying to do a lot of things at once with one salary and without a way of expanding what you're able to do as individuals, then you will not be able to be well, you will not be able to grow, and then you can't pay back the wonderful people here who are doing such a wonderful job. So part of the work of, I think, the next phase is building out on the entrepreneurial side of your members, the education side. They've started, I've seen the financial literacy side, but also what are the investment opportunities now that are going to give you a higher return, both inside, outside the country, and expand your base, because it's a lot of people, but you cannot leave the young people out. The young people have to learn and be involved from early. And if you don't do it, others probably, it's a lost opportunity. So God bless you. Thank you and congratulations.
Good morning, everyone. Professor, thank you for those thought-provoking statements and nuggets that you left with us this morning. As a part-time lecturer with the university, I am so proud, I'm so happy that you're here. And I always find a way in my class somehow to tie in the Guyana Stock Exchange, irrespective of the course that I'm lecturing, because I realize that there's certainly a lack of knowledge there. And my task is simple: to thank you and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Professor. We'll now take a short break to allow for our special invitees to leave, and after that, we'll continue with the business end of our annual general meeting. Thank you very much. Head table, thank you.
Planet for future generations.
And I bring you greetings. It is that time of the year again when we come together for our annual general meeting. I therefore invite you to join us for AGM 2023 on Sunday, August the 10th, 2025, starting at 10 a.m. at the Theatre Guild of Guyana, Parade Street in Kingston, Georgetown. At that meeting, the Committee of Management will present a comprehensive report on the affairs and performance of the credit union for the year 2023. We strongly encourage all members to participate, whether in person or virtually, to engage in discussions and exercise their democratic rights. Information on the AGM will be shared on the credit union's website and Facebook platforms. You are encouraged to register your attendance for the annual general meeting by accessing the AGM registration link on these two online platforms. The deadline for registration is August the 5th, 2025. I therefore look forward to seeing each of you at our annual general meeting as we engage in discussions about the management of the credit union's affairs for the period 2023. Stay safe now. God's blessings. I thank you.
Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union Limited, keeping you connected to your account at a click of your finger. Sign up now for online banking. With online banking, you can update your personal information, transfer funds between accounts, view and download statements, check your account balance. Your credit union is working for you. Let's hear what these members have to say.
I can access my account anytime, anywhere. My credit union makes access to my account easy, and that's the way I like it.
Life is too demanding with work and family, but accessing my account online, I have more time for myself, no long lines, easy and fast sign-ups, no fees attached. Thank you, GPSCCU.
Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union Limited, making access to your account easy.
We are thrilled to announce an exciting new initiative from the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union Limited, GPSCCU. GPSCCU is going paperless. This initiative designed to make accessing our services more convenient and efficient than ever before. Members will no longer need to visit the credit union in person to carry out key transactions. As part of our transformation, GPSCCU has digitized our services, allowing members to 1. Apply for loans, 2. Complete membership applications, 3. Access online banking, and much more, all from the comfort of their home, office, or even on vacation. Plus, enjoy added convenience of digital receipts, making your transactions easier to track and access anytime. No more hassle of searching for hard copies of receipts. Everything you need is at your fingertips. Your credit union is transforming the way we engage and serve our members, while also being mindful of our environmental footprint to help preserve the planet for future generations.
How well do you know your credit union? Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union, GPSCCU, has a proud legacy of delivering reliable financial solution and exceptional service to our valued members. We want to hear from you. GPSCCU will post a monthly fun and engaging question on Facebook. There is no fixed date or time, so be sure to follow us and stay connected. Now ask yourself, how well do you know your credit union?
Turning your dream of home ownership into a reality with a mortgage savings account. The Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union understands that owning a home is one of the most significant milestones in one's life. We are committed to turning that dream into a reality with the introduction of the mortgage savings account. This is a new offering designed to assist members in achieving home ownership through structured savings and exclusive benefits. The mortgage savings account helps members build a strong financial foundation for down payment on home purchases, mortgage installment payments, processing fee associated with mortgage application. The plan offers affordable monthly contributions and is carefully designed to make home ownership attainable at every stage of life.
That's why, thanks to GPSCCU, our trusted credit union, we were finally able to renovate our kitchen, transforming it from the dreadful state it was in to a space we love.
This renovation would not have been possible without the support of our guarantors. Although we did not have enough funds in our ordinary savings to qualify, our trusted guarantors made this happen.
Yes, and credit union is all about people helping people.
You can benefit from a guarantee loan as well. The process is simple. Let me walk you through the steps.
How may I assist you today?
Okay, I'm here to access a guarantee loan, but I'm unaware of the process.
I'm happy to give you the guidance. You can access a guarantee loan up to 3 times of your ordinary savings.
Oh, great. Who can be a guarantor?
Good question. Your guarantor must be a member of the Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union, and his or her account must be both active and in good financial standing.
That is good to know. I have one last question. What are the requirements of a guarantor loan?
In order for you to access a guarantor loan, you must, of course, present a valid form of identification, 3 recent pay slips, a proof of address, job letter, and a bank statement clearly outlining your name, address, and bank account number, and complete a loan application form. It is important to note that the credit union will contact the guarantors listed on your application to ensure that they would have indeed signed as a guarantor.
Good information. Thank you.
Your credit union is strengthening financial support. Your guarantors can now offer support up to the full value of the ordinary savings, free of any existing loan commitments. Guarantors are to keep in mind the approved amount will be pledged towards the applicant's loan. The pledged amount will be held as security until the guarantor's loan is fully paid off.
Here, honey. Thank you, GPSCCU.
And our amazing guarantors.
Your support turned our dreams into reality.
It's back again. The Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union Limited. Back to school loan is available and the process is fast and hassle-free. Get up to $50,000 to help cover your back to school expenses. Let's ask a beneficiary of the back to school loan how simple the process is.
Just complete the back to school loan form and submit it along with a valid form of ID, a recent payslip, and a recent bank statement.
Do you prefer to receive your loan via MMG? No problem. Simply inform the loan officer who will provide a form for you to submit your correct MMG number.
Don't delay. Apply today and get ready for a stress-free back-to-school season.
We are going back to school with GPSCCU Back to School Loan.
I've been a member of the credit union since 1979. I was encouraged by a man named Mr. Cato. At the time, he used to be a supervisor at the carpentry workshop at Georgetown Hospital. There I used to work as a receptionist. And I joined there. I didn't learn the thing good, so all I was giving for month was just $500. But when the time came and I needed some cash and I came, I was told that I need to put a little more money into the thing. So at that time, my first loan was only $50,000. That's because I didn't know, I didn't learn the thing good. So I said, I need to learn it better. So I came and I asked questions. There was a girl, I think her name was Margaret, and I got some advice as to how to, with the amount I save, and if I save X amount, I would get X amount, because I'm also, when I borrow, I'll be able to save and to pay back at the same time. So I decided, I said, okay, instead of $500, I decided to go up $2,000, increase. And I did it. Then I got through my house lot. When I got my house lot, I came in, I got some money to start my foundation. And I've been borrowing all the time to do different things to the house from time to time. As fast as the loan finished, I come in, I get another loan. As fast as the loan finished, I come in, I get another one. My most recent loan for the house was the septic tank. 3 years ago, I think I should be finished paying that now. The credit union is very good. It's very, very good to join the credit union. I've seen people go to the bank and take loan, and then eventually the houses get taken back and all of that. But with the credit union, you can pay back your loan and you save it. Girl, I pray that my family, me young ones, them would come and join the credit union. This might decide that the young ones, me young ones, would come and join the credit union.
Is back again. The Guyana Public Service Co-operative Credit Union Limited. Back to school loan is available and the process is fast and hassle-free. Get up to $50,000 to help cover your back to school expenses. Let's ask a beneficiary of the back to school loan how simple the process is.
Just complete the back to school loan form and submit it along with a valid form of ID, a recent payslip, and a recent bank statement. Do you prefer to receive your loan via MMG? No problem. Simply inform the loan officer who will provide a form for you to submit your correct MMG number.
Don't delay. Apply today and get ready for a stress-free back-to-school season.
We are going back to school with GPSCCU Back to School Loan.
Dear members of the Guyana Public Service Co-operative Credit Union, I bring you greetings. It is that time of the year again when we come together for our annual general meeting. I therefore invite you to join us for AGM 2023 on Sunday, August the 10th, 2025, starting at 10 a.m. at the Theatre Guild of Guyana, Parade Street in Kingston, Georgetown. At that meeting, the Committee of Management will present a comprehensive report on the affairs and performance of the credit union for the year 2023. We strongly encourage all members to participate, whether in person or virtually, to engage in discussions and exercise their democratic rights. Information on the AGM will be shared on the credit union's website and Facebook platforms. You are encouraged to register your attendance for the annual general meeting by accessing the AGM registration link on these two online platforms. The deadline for registration is August the 5th, 2025. I therefore look forward to seeing each of you at our annual general meeting as we engage in discussions about the management of the credit union's affairs for the period 2023. Stay safe now. God's blessings. I thank you.
All right, members, we are about to restart. We ask that you kindly return and have your seats as we
Sign up now
commence our
for
annual
online
general
banking.
meeting.
With online banking, you
We
can
ask the
update your
ushers
personal
outside to
information,
kindly assist the
transfer
members
funds
to
between
be
accounts,
seated again
view and
as we
download
restart
statements, check
the
your
AGM.
account
Thank you.
balance. Your credit union is working for you. Let's hear what these members have to say.
I can access my account anytime, anywhere. My credit union makes access to my account easy, and that's the way I like it.
Life is too demanding with work and family, but accessing my account online, I have more time for myself, no long lines, easy and fast signups, no fees attached. Thank you, GPSCCU.
Guyana Public Service Cooperative Credit Union Limited, making access to your account easy.
We are thrilled to announce an exciting new initiative from the Guyana Public Service Cooperative